Hello my viewers, welcome back to the channel. By the video title, you know what this video is about. Who is drafting Caleb Williams? Caleb Williams' name is circulating around a lot, and we know Super Bowl is coming up this week. I know that, so I'm getting in my full draft stage because the offseason in the NFL is officially be here. It's already here for 30 other teams, but two teams still playing, of course, the 49ers and Chiefs. But who will Caleb Williams get drafted by? Caleb Williams and his team have been putting out messages saying they don't want the Bears to draft them. We've seen that throughout the season. That Caleb Williams said, if the Cardinals take me, I'll go back to college. He's not doing that probably. And anybody, if the Bears take me, I'll do this. I'll go jump off a bridge. I don't know. He's been saying a lot of different things, just saying things to kind of keep teams from drafting them to fall in the spot they want to go. And the way Caleb Williams kind of, you look at his character, you look at his personality, and you look at his team, he's probably going to be in like a flamboyant place, a place that's kind of like, kind of like flashy and stuff like that, like a lot of media attraction, a lot of attraction to do other adventures outside of football as well. So like a big market like New York market and different places around that range like that. I think that'd be like a good market for him. As a team, there's some teams there looking for quarterbacks too as well. But starting off with his draft analysis, he's a good quarterback. Strong arm, strong arm can make all the throws on the field, in the numbers, between, outside the numbers, on the middle of the field, down the field, close range, short range. He can make a lot of things happen. He's an amazing player, especially, when he's on the move, getting out the pocket and making things happen. The Mahomes-esque type of style. If you watch this game, of course, you compare him to Mahomes because you just see that Mahomes-esque type of style, the arm angles, the drop and stuff, and side arming and zipping it and flipping it all around down the field and stuff. Like I can toss it behind my head, behind my back and all type of things. So like they just had a type of like similar play style, being able to make plays when the play collapse, when the pocket collapsed and the play is kind of broken up, to being able to scramble around like backyard Ben used to do with the Steelers, is go around and make plays happen. So he had that kind of like style. It's very crafty and very innovative. You're like, man, how you think of that? Doing that right there, doing a spin and then throwing it, or stepping up in the pocket and using his legs to run as well. He's very good at that too. He's a mobile quarterback. So Caleb Williams is a nice quarterback. He's going to be the first pick, either him or Marvin Harrison or I think that's probably two of the best bets, because the teams that's picking early are looking for those spots. The Bears are looking for, probably roll with Justin Fields, but they're looking for probably another receiver to add to that roster, or maybe they go a different approach. You never know. We've seen different things happen in the draft, but I think they'll add a receiver. So Marvin Harrison Jr. Will be a big time receiver to add next to DJ Moore, and we'll see what happens. You look at the what's the next team that's on there too as well. You got the Bears. You got Washington as well. Washington need a quarterback. That's another team that's on there as well. The Falcons on there too. I thought the Falcons are going to have to trade up. The Falcons and Giants might have to trade up to try to get Caleb Williams. I think Caleb Williams find his way to the Falcons. I think the Falcons make the move and trade up because all they really need is a quarterback. Look at their roster. They have the run game. They have the receivers. The O-line has improved. The defense is improving as well. You got those two cornerbacks, AJ Terrell leading that charge, and then you got Jesse Bates in the backfield. So you have some pieces. You just got to find a quarterback, get a quarterback, and trading up in the draft to get Caleb Williams. If you think he's that guy, you can do that. Or unless they just wait and maybe trade up for Jaden Daniels or somebody else would fall in their place as well. But Caleb Williams is probably one of the best quarterbacks, if not the best quarterback to go with in the draft. We're gonna see what happens though. Now some of his negatives as a playmaker, like I know I mentioned all his like positives, the playmaking ability, the crafty style, the strong arm, the ability to make the throws in the pocket and act the pocket. When the play collapse, being able to go out there and make anything out of nothing. But some of his negatives is some of that stuff that I just mentioned too as well, because you look at sometimes he get a little too like hero ballish like that. Sometimes we see Josh Allen do that too in the NFL as well. A little too much hero ballish, or where he'll have the ball and he'll try to spin himself into a sack, or he'll spin himself out and kind of get himself on a bad footing or something, and then kind of like lead himself from his own receivers, and it kind of messes his vision up, and you might lead to a turnover. And we've seen sometimes like him in the pocket, instead of having two hands on the football, the two-handed monster like John Gruden used to say all the time, he got one hand on the football like that. We see a lot of fumbles. His fumbles, get the ball and bat it out through games here and there. You watch some of his USC games this past season, which was probably one of his lower years than the years before. He still played pretty good. He still played good, of course, but out of the other years that he was playing and balling, this is one of his lower ones. You see a lot of those plays like that happening where he kind of like put himself in harm's way. It's like you didn't have to do a spin move. Like, I'm a Steeler fan, and we know if you're a Steeler fan too that's watching this, Kenny Pickett is one of those quarterbacks that do that a lot too. Kenny get the ball and he'll spin into the defenders instead of him just dropping back and bouncing back. Like quarterbacks, you can still keep your vision afloat, and you can just maybe throw off the back foot if you have to, or maybe step up in the pocket. He'll spin. Sometimes the spin work, but sometimes the spin he'll lead himself into a way where, because like, when you're spinning, you can't see anything. Like you have a helmet on first of all, so you can't see anything when you're spinning, and you're spinning yourself into defenders on the outside when the pressure gets in. Caleb Williams do that sometimes. As well. So I think some of that stuff that he really do is kind of coachable. You can kind of coach that stuff and say, okay, we can get rid of that stuff, those tendencies right there. But overall, I think he's a great quarterback. Great quarterback entering this draft, and in the right scenery, the right place. Just like Mahomes got to the right place with the Chiefs. You had Andy Reid calling the plays. You had Tyreek Hill being the receiver. He wasn't the Tyreek Hill he is now, of course, but he was still on the verge of getting there. He had 1,000 yards underneath his belt with Alex Smith, and was still playing good football. Travis Kelce was very good, but he got even better with Mahomes as well. So I feel like in the right scenery, like the Falcons, I feel like the Falcons would trade up and try to get Caleb Williams, but the Giants could do the same thing. Daniel Jones is getting $40 million a year. He's not the answer. They know he's not the answer. It's the reason that they wanted Tyrod Taylor playing, and Tyrod Taylor's an old, grizzled veteran now, and they try to advocate for him to play more than Daniel Jones. Daniel Jones not the answer, so they got to find a way to get rid of him, so maybe trade him somewhere else. I think Washington would be due. Probably want to see Caleb Williams what he can do as well. Let's see, we wait till somebody else fall to them. The Vikings maybe could trade up. The Broncos could trade up. The Patriots. We never know what could happen like that. A lot of these teams need quarterbacks, so we'll see what happens with these teams as well. But another thing too that's Caleb Williams kind of a negative a little bit is the attitude and the mentality. I'm not saying that, of course, you can't have like a little swag with you, or a little like pep in your step a little bit, and just have a little like attitude, killer instinct. We've seen quarterbacks from the past year draft. Bryce Young was a little more quiet, like Anthony Richardson, is pumped up and stuff, team oriented, very team oriented. That's why he was the captain his rookie season. Will Levis is very swagger. Got the swag, got the sleeves, showing the guns at every throw, very intense and passionate as well too. So somebody, then you look at C.J. Stroud, cool, calm, and collect, like that. Cool, calm, and collect. So everybody have different personalities, of course. But I feel like look at Caleb Williams' personality. It might be it can be a positive, and it can be a negative too a little bit, because you see the way he's kind of already starting some things a little bit by saying he don't want to play for these teams, this team or that team, threatening to go back, and all the things that are going on. We see the things in the interviews and throughout the organizations, and the little diva-ish tendencies a little bit from Caleb Williams, which all quarterbacks are divas sometimes, have big egos and stuff as well, because, quarterback position, you got to be, they got to have that a little bit sometimes to play better. But Caleb Williams could be a positive or could be a negative, depending on what scenery and where he lands. If he lands somewhere that he want to go, then it could be a positive. But if he lands somewhere he don't want to play, then you can see some things kind of mix up, especially if he's threatening to go back to college or doing this or doing that and sending messages to different teams that say, I don't want to get drafted by the Bears, I want to get drafted by the Cardinals, I don't want to go to this team or that team. If they do this, I'm going to do that. So we'll see what happens. But the draft is on a few months from now. I think 2 months from now. I think it's in April 20-something. So we'll see where Caleb Martin, that's a basketball player, Caleb Williams will land. Let me know in the comments down below what you guys think Caleb Williams should land. But I'll see you guys next time on the channel. Peace out.